Reunion. Hello, y'all. I was selling crack on a private jet up in the hell and back. But no confusion, this a reunion. Hello, y'all. Welcome back. Get murder here. He counting money. He said, "Can man, the hell with rap. I'm only here to shit on niggas and piss on bitches. Welcome, ass. I bought jewelry and bikes, nigga. Black Benzes and white Vigors. Now I'm out here and I'm looking for more chandeliers and light fixtures. Nah. I don't like niggas, what's wrong with me? I'm a hype nigga, but this 44 turn to Michael Jordan. I look and say, take flight.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog. The app is an easy way to make some cash just by making picks on your favorite players. Underdog is available in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, and Missouri, just to name a few. Make sure to support the show by hitting the link in the bio and downloading the Underdog app. Use code MASECAM or STAT to get up to $1,000 in bonus credits with your first deposit and a free pick. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your host Cam, and Mase will be back. Cam,
Stat,
how
what
you
up?
feeling?
I'm good. How you? What's going on?
I'm great.
Good, man.
You know,
that's what's up.
I wanted to talk about it because y'all know how y'all always get on me about not watching certain movies.
Yeah.
I be trying to tell people I'm trying to catch up, okay? Y'all told me there's a list. Started the list. I was saying before, me and my friend was watching Boys in the Hood. She ended up crying.
That's crazy.
At the end of
That's
it.
wild. That you
This is why we can't watch certain things.
This is why you can't watch certain things?
No.
But I mean, they did a good job, man.
It was great for sure. But you know how you were saying resilience?
Yeah.
I don't think I got.
You cried too?
No, I didn't cry, but I felt bad for her crying. So it was just emotional, you know?
You know. Let me tell you something. Like I said, you told me you watched Paid in Full.
Yes.
Because probably only because we worked together.
Well, no, everybody told me I needed to watch it too. In addition.
Yeah, because you work with me. Nobody. Well, I'm saying if we didn't work together, nobody would have been like, "Stat, you being mad disrespectful, not watching Paid in Full in your own but your life outside of." Working with us. You know, one day what you said to me, I never put it into perspective, even like with your parents, I'm talking about.
Okay.
When we was working together and everything, he was like, "Yo, man, I had to pick up and to make a decision. Am I just going to move to the West Coast with two rappers and do a sports show?" That was kind of crazy because we didn't know where this was going. So I get it. Like, these niggas is not really in my rap game. You know, you listen to TD25 and everybody. I don't know these rappers' names and all this. So it was really taken on a limb, but I understand where our fans is coming from. It is kind of disrespectful not to watch Paid in Full and to be up here with me every day. Back to what I was going to say about that is that, were you upset when I killed Mitch at the end?
Yes. And it's crazy. No.
Shit, wow.
Because knowing you in real life, I'm like, dang, like this is you though. Like,
this is me killing my friend? What are you talking about?
It's not me. Not the principles, but I swear, when I watched Paid in Full, I was like, damn, like I could see it why on the outside somebody cannot separate it because it's like, obviously your morals are great. You're a great person. But in the movie, like, I was like, dang, this is real. Like, that's how it felt. That's why your acting is really good because it's like, dang, like, I'm believing everything that's happening right now. It was like young you, though, but it was like, damn, I was really upset. And I never told you that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, you was mad, had an attitude after the movie was over? That's
but
crazy.
Like, I can't go back tomorrow and be like, dang, I was real mad at you. Like,
nah, trust me, I get it in the street. Not as bad as recently, but it was bad for like 10 years straight, maybe 15. Yo, you killed Mitch last night. I'm like, Mitch is still alive. His name's Makai Pfeiffer. If you want, go on his Instagram. He's still here. But yeah, I get it. But that's just a testament of people doing a good job. If you cried, not Paid in Full, your friend cried in Boys in the Hood and all that, I guess they did a good job. Yeah, think about it. Boys in the Hood probably came out 12 years before you was even born.
Yeah.
So if you still that emotionally evolved in 2024, 2025, it was a good movie, man. Y'all gotta watch Menace to Society next. And if she watched Paid in Full with you, I didn't kill anybody.
Yeah, we did watch it together.
Yeah, man. I'm
a
cool nigga, man. I'm a cool guy, man. I wouldn't do that to my man whose brother just died and he trying to get the money to get his brother back.
Yeah. And then even now, like, even just like starting out the opening scene with like the Chinese food, it's like, you'll be all right. I was like, okay. Like, it's just you. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It felt like you were playing like you, even though like
that's wild.
You wouldn't do that in the end, but yeah.
Let me tell you something. I don't know if you noticed. You know, I was playing somebody else.
Well,
there was a guy named Alpo Martinez who I was actually
playing.
So
And you know, I always do my research after. Yeah, you know, I always do my research after because then I was like, dang, so like, who is this? What happened? What's the backstory? So I found out after the fact. But I was like, is this what really be going on? I lived a very different life, y'all. Like, I was like, is this what be happening? Like, I
lived in a gated community growing up, man.
I did.
Yeah, man. We got fire escapes and fires and drug deals and all that outside our buildings growing up, man. I think that's why I did a good job because seriously is that movie, before the movie, everybody from Harlem, it's a Harlem story, knows that story. They know it, you know what I'm saying? And if I didn't do a good job, I would have had to hear it. Like, trust me, because I still was in Harlem, not living there, but hanging out every single day in Harlem. And not doing a good job in that movie, I would have never heard the end of that. So I'd do a good job. You know what's crazy is that I bumped into him, Alpo, where he got out of jail. And niggas like, how did he get out of jail? He admitted to killing 14 niggas, but he told them all that. More of the story, he was in a restaurant. B was actually there. And he walked in. And this was the time everybody was wearing masks. So we kind of knew it was him, but we ain't say nothing. So we talking amongst each other. And he like, yo, Cam, that's you? And I'm like, yeah, what's up, man? He's like, yo, what's up, man? I'm like, what's up? Because to me, like, you still told, bro, and you still kill niggas. It's like you're a serial killer. That's old, so right. You're one of the most dangerous niggas in the world, to me, like that, because if you'll tell and kill niggas, what kind of nigga, you know what I'm saying, is dangerous. More of the story is, he had a good attitude. He was like, yo, man, he asked for somebody. He said, yo, you seen so-and-so? And I'm like, nah, he don't be around like they say, yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Then he said, I meant to tell you, man, you did a great job on the movie. Your movement was off a little bit. You wasn't moving exactly how I moved, but you did a real good job. I said, I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Sociopath, crazy nigga.
That is crazy. But you did do a great job. Want to see more movies and stuff from you for sure. And now I'm thinking about it. We'll have to discuss this, but I need to do an interview with you because I have so many questions that I feel like that I don't even
man, anytime. Actually, go right now. Just actually came on Amazon Prime. I just put a movie out about a month ago. It's called Is It a Crime? Kind of out. You know what I did in that movie was that, so I have a couple movies I've done, Killer Season, Percentage, Paid in Full, etc. But same thing you said, Stat, I promise you, a lot of people like, Cam just getting away with acting like Cam. He's really not doing nothing but acting like Cam. So I did this movie to be outside of the urban box, so to speak. So therefore, you could go check it out now. It's finally on Amazon. A lot of people like, oh, it's on Apple, it's on this, I ain't got that. Go to Amazon Prime, type in Is It a Crime, and you can make sure you go check out me stepping out the box a little something, man.
Fire. Make sure y'all go check that out. So, I know we're in the middle of playoff basketball, a lot of fun games, but there's a little thing that happened in between, so we're going to talk about it. So, Shannon Sharpe, he is being accused of sexual assault in a new lawsuit for allegedly dating a 19-year-old OnlyFans model who's now suing him for $50 million. The woman has since released an alleged audio conversation of the two where he said, I'll choke the shit out of you. So in return, Shannon Sharpe responded with the text messages where him and the girl were talking, and she said some things like, I don't want anybody to cut this with me saying this, but she said, I know you miss this ass, $25K for each cheek, want you to put a big black baby in me, and a whole bunch of other things to him. Mm-hmm. He also then responded with the video saying he is going to defend himself because what's going on isn't right, and he said it's all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has also targeted Jay-Z. He said Tony targets black men and he expects him to release a sex tape that tries to make him look guilty. So earlier, both lawyers for Shannon Sharpe and his accuser confirmed he also offered to pay $10 million to settle the case and not disclose the allegations with the girl. Whole lot to unpack. Cam, what are your initial thoughts?
Let me ask you a question before I give my opinion.
Okay.
Do you think this has something to do with her being white?
Yes.
I knew it. Why?
Because
so a black girl wouldn't do this?
I'm not saying a black girl wouldn't do it, but less likely to. I think, first of all, the whole big black baby and me, all that is like, okay, if you're into that, if you like the race baiting, all that, cool. Some people like that. That's the first thing. Second thing, we all saw Shannon Sharpe might be signing a $100 million deal. Woo, 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 woo. You're an OnlyFans model and you're trying to get him with that. And now all of a sudden, $50 million. And this isn't to, discredit anybody who is, going through serious issues and like sexual assault cases. Like, hope that works out for all of you guys. But all the different terms in this, it's interesting. So yes, I think it has a lot to do with her being a white woman.
So from what I got from what you said, stay away from them white bitches. That's what you said in a real politically correct way. Yo, y'all black niggas that be fucking with these white bitches, see what happens? That's what Stat just said in a very professional way. That was really nice the way you put that, because that's all you really said. This what happened when you fuck with them white bitches. That's what you get. That's exactly what I heard from you. But look, it's a few, like you said, it's a lot of shit to unpack with this. First thing you said, $100 million, now they want 50 out of nowhere. But when you sue for 50, you don't really want 50. You take about 23, 20, 24, you go for the high number so you can settle out for what you really want. That's first and foremost. Secondly, she 20. How old, 92?
50, so I'm going to get his exact age.
You got to know what's going on. Not saying she don't fuck with you. Listen, I remember
56.
56. I remember Delicious from Flavor of Love wanted Unc. She was on his body too. Unc stay in shape. He popping, etc. It's a lot going on. Especially he has a newfound light. You know what I'm saying? What I will say is this, is that to me, for this last few years, and I'm talking about not even a few years, probably 6-7 years now, because he started on what is that shit with Skip he was doing? Whatever that shit was called. Undisputed. About 6-7 years ago. So you have Undisputed. Then he has the success with Club Shay Shay. Then he has his other shows that he do on the internet. Then not only that, you leave Undisputed and go to First Take. So when I first seen Shannon on the internet arguing, going back and forth with certain people, even me and him had a couple words here and there, nothing crazy. I got mad love for Uncle, super duper love for that nigga. But when I see him going back and forth with other people, so to speak, and I say, he doesn't get it. Now he probably gets it, he's getting more seasoned. I'm talking about last year when he's arguing the sex tape, if you want to call it that, and going back, and before that was other things, people saying that he was gay, and he's going back and forth arguing with people. I'm saying, it's one thing being a successful athlete, and then it's a different thing being a successful entertainer, even though sports is entertainment. But, Shannon Sharpe is a Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion, so people know who he is. But now you're sitting there talking about people. It's one thing when you're catching the ball, scoring touchdowns. It's another thing when you're opinionated about different people. So he found a new brand of success, and I don't think he knew about it in the beginning because, he used to say, my sister said, when you're at the top, this, that, and third. Yeah, nigga, that's the way it goes. People are going to want to come at you when you're successful in this realm. When you're successful in football, people can't run as fast as you or jump as high as you or catch touchdowns. It's something different to where you're being opinionated. And now that you have a smartphone, everybody has an opinion. Anybody with a smartphone can have an opinion. So when you have this newfound success, you got to know how to move, especially with the bitches. You got to know how to move, my nigga, because I'm not saying niggas don't fuck with you, but they want something. They want a couple dollars. They want $25,000 a cheek. Fuck is that? Yo, $25,000 a cheek, and you still speak to the bitch? Like you said, to me, it sounds like they had a lot of, what's the word? I don't want to use BDSM. They had a lot of like little rough relationship. When I say that, choke her and she like it, or grab her up and she like it. Because there's some shit I read it too, that he had anal sex and she got mad because he ain't put the condom on, or some shit like that. Obviously, Shorty likes some of this shit, my personal opinion. And like Stat said, I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody going through something serious. But the first thing I took from this when I heard it was, look, he was living in California and moved to Nevada. She moved from California to Nevada too. So if somebody's being abusive to you in one state, why would you move to the next state with the same nigga who's abusing you? I don't know. Me personally, I found the red flag with that personally. And then the next thing is this sex tape this supposedly coming out. Shannon said, put the whole 30 minutes out, or 10 minutes, whatever it is. I guess there's some part in there for 30 seconds, because Unc brought that up. Shannon brought that up. He said, I believe he's going to release 30 seconds of it. Whatever that 30 seconds is must be nasty and violent and fucked up. If you don't want to put the whole 10 minutes and you reducing it to that 30, it must have been WWE in that joint. Elbow off the top of the bed, off the thrower against the dresser. You white little bitch, come here, suck big black dick. Fuck you talking about? You want nigga dick? I get that part. I get it. Because I tell white bitches you want that nigga dick. But it's consensual. They agree. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I've been doing this in a different realm from him. I never made it as a professional athlete. I've been out here shaking and juggling these bitches since 20 years old. I know what you up to. I know when a bitch try to bait me in a text message to say some dumb shit. I ain't writing it back. You right. And I'm not writing nothing back. You can't get me to write a damn thing back when I see what's going on. You get what I'm saying? Then you gotta know. And see, that's the fucked up thing. It seemed like he trusted her from the conversation I heard. You gotta read the signs like, I don't want to get choked. That ain't something you usually say. Hold on. You don't usually talk to me like this. Why are you talking to me like this now? Yo, I'm gonna hit you back. Boom. And then you know when shit ain't right, you be like, when you answer the phone, they be like, hello, hello, hello. They setting up. Oh, I can hear you now. They done set the call up. You gotta read all these signs, bro. And you gotta think about this, right? This is why, and a lot of people call this nigga Uncle Tom, and he don't like black people, or this, that, and the third, et cetera, et cetera. This is why Stephen A. don't get into no shit like this. And I'm gonna say none of us is above it, knock on wood, but he knows he works for Disney. When you work for Disney, a sex tape can't be coming out like this. You can't be admitting that, 30 seconds of this shit was kind of rough. I'm letting y'all know. Shit get a little wild. But didn't he 30 seconds get what? Yo, this Mickey Mouse in there. What you mean 30 seconds get wild? I think that Disney's getting a little more lenient because of shit like Pat McAfee, cursing at 12 p.m. in the afternoon. Not just that, Shannon had a little sex tape that he admitted to, nothing visual, just vocal. So I think it's a little more lenient, and I hope that Disney does keep him. I'm rooting for him because I do believe this is a shakedown. But when you start getting the video evidence and vocal evidence and audio evidence, I should say, pardon me, and text messages and this, that, and the third, that's crazy. Last thing I'll say before I let Stat give her opinion, if she has an opinion,
I do,
is that the Busby shit. I don't like the name Busby. It sounds like the nigga that you be like, have you been done wrong? And then an 800 number pop up at the bottom of the screen. Call Busby. We'll make sure we'll get your money. That name sounds crazy. The only difference between Jay-Z and Shannon's situation, because he put Jay-Z name in it because Busby tried to go after Jay-Z, is Jay-Z from beginning to end said, I didn't do a motherfucking thing. Jay-Z ain't trying to give nobody no money. Jay-Z ain't trying to settle out. Jay-Z actually said, fuck that. If y'all think y'all got something on me, fuck a civil lawsuit, make it criminal. I should be going to jail if I did something like this. And that shit was out of here because they knew they ain't have nothing on them. Now, when you trying to settle out on the low, it's a little bit of guilt there. Something happened. Not saying it wasn't consensual. Maybe you offered the money because you like, look, I ain't got time. I just need this to be swept under the rug so I can get back to work and do what I got to do in between these deals. But that's the problem too. Think about Puff and Cassie, right? You make this deal, you give Cassie $15 million or whatever she got, and be like, okay, everything's swept under the rug, right? Cool, let's keep life moving. Now I never called nigga. I got the tape. Nigga hit you like Menace. You ain't seen Menace that. Nigga said, I got the tape. Nigga, now it's another nigga. You call, I thought we settled out, Cassie. This nigga made a copy and all that. Like, I ain't even know the nigga had a copy or that. Now you got Puff running down the hall and the towel dragging him out of here. After you done paid $15 million, it's a mess. It's a damn mess, man. I don't know how this is going to play out, but I do know that it don't look good when you try to give somebody a couple dollars to sweep it under the rug. Like I said, Busby did go after Jay-Z. That nigga Jay-Z hit Busby with a Kentucky Fried 8-piece. Bop, 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 bop. Sent that nigga back in his office. We ain't hear about Busby until this Shannon shit. We'll see what happens, but that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I just want to add, a lot of things can be true. Like, yes, the girl is younger, but she's still of age. I feel like, you don't know what could have happened. She could have started something and then it got into something that she didn't want it to be. And at this point, you're already in too deep. As far as Busby, are we really surprised? Because he is a lawyer. He's going to go at somebody who is making a lot of money. That shouldn't be a shock. And then for Shannon, I mean, in the end, clearly he wanted to be satisfied and that didn't go the way that he wanted it to go. So I just feel like playing in the snow, you don't know how it's going to go. And that's kind of what you have to sacrifice.
Playing in the snow, you don't know how it's going to go. Okay.
And for some people, it goes great. Okay. That's not to say you can't.
Do you play in the snow? You don't know how it's going to go.
You don't know how it's going to go.
But you play in the snow.
That's all I'm going to say. You don't know how it's going to go.
Guy, my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you, guys.
No, I'm just saying, like, you don't know how it's going to go. There's a lot of money on the table, and I think for ESPN, some people are non-negotiable because we haven't seen any repercussions happen to them, whether it be Shannon Sharpe or Pat McAfee or Stephen A. They're in good spaces, but one day you never know how Disney's going to react because, like you said, now that we're actually talking about actual potential video evidence, it's changing things and it's kind of pushing their limit farther than they probably expected. So I just hope in the end, everything is figured out. Hate to see this happening because it's happening time and time because people are also choosing the wrong people. I'm going to go back to an interview he actually had with Monique, who told him, you need to go talk to an older woman who going to cook you some neck bones and some collard greens and lay up next to you and go to sleep. And honestly, that might be the best bet for you because all this extra shit, especially when you keep kind of raising to the top, you know you're going to have more targets on your back. So I would just avoid the situation all over. Clearly, he tried to avoid it with the $10 million. That didn't work because if she can try to get more and she has a strong case, she's going to try to get more. That's just what happens. So it's just being smart about it. And like Cam said, you can kind of tell when people are kind of starting to set you up. So, hey, I don't know. Good luck to all of them.
The thing about it is, though, I mean, I don't know Unc like that, but it's like my man, shout out to my man Marshall and shit. He from my man from Mount Vernon and shit. My man Marshall said he don't like old bitches. He a little older. He said, my old skin and they old skin in the bed and shit, all old, rubbing against each other. I like a little smooth young joint. That's his thing. He like, yo, fuck, I'm up here making all this bread and I'm gonna give it to some old bitch that's just in the house, just can barely with all this other shit. And our skin, that was my favorite shit he said. He said, look at my skin and her skin. That shit ain't, it's two old skins, man. I like that little baby skin, man. And he, of course, they have age, his chicks.
Yeah.
But he make money, and I'm pretty sure as Marshall get to that bag, but he ain't getting 100 million. No, a lot of us aren't getting 100 million. So what I'm saying is, nigga, it ain't Unc work out. You see, like I said, we don't know what that 30 minutes like. Unc might kill a bitch that's 60 years old, man. Might put in the hospital. Unc in shape. That nigga be sitting at the dust like this, doing this fucking his shit every day. That nigga lifting weights and doing all type of shit, my nigga. I don't know if an old neck bone joint, like Monique said, is going to get it for Unc. You know what I'm saying? And Monique might have been trying to throw a bit in right there when she was saying all that. But she definitely did say what you were saying.
Yeah, and then just real quick, again, to the age thing, that's fine. Like, if that's what you want, go for it. But just make some things make a little sense. Like, you gotta, the brain, what she thinking is still important no matter the age. If some things are kind of off, please trust your gut so we can just avoid the situation to begin with. That's all I'm gonna say. And especially because I see that, like, the younger girls nowadays are liking the older guys. Like, that's just a thing. Like, we're seeing it in all these relationships, these age gaps. That's fine. Just make sure she's smart. And if it's an older woman, make sure the guy's smart. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, so game 2, Timberwolves versus Lakers. The series is now tied with the Lakers beating the Timberwolves 94-85. Cam, how do you see this series going? And did anything in particular in this game shock you?
We gonna see. Listen, I think that the Lakers came out hot. Luka had 16, something like that in the first quarter. Finally, LeBron has somebody that's going to want to take advantage of being the leader on the team. We've been seeing LeBron try to give the team to AD for I don't know how many years. And then I'm saying that AD didn't want to take it, but it seemed like he didn't want to take it, pause. And LeBron had to do a lot more work that he wanted to do. We actually get to see LeBron right now play second fiddle, which I think he wanted to do for a while. Look, you be the nigga, I'm out here doing too much at 40 years old, and Luka stepped up to the plate to do that. My opinion is the first half, the referees definitely helped out the Lakers in the first half. Naz Reid had fucking 4 fouls with like 6, probably more than that, 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. And I think that the NBA knows this. We cannot have the Lakers getting swept. This is not, oh, hell no, we cannot have the Lakers getting swept. And not only that, we got to think about the hold into account. I said that as well. Minnesota shot phenomenal for 3. I believe it was 50% they shot the first game. And I knew they wouldn't shoot 50% again from 3. But the Lakers came out fiery. They was on point. And we're going to have to see how this next game goes because, to be honest with you, I didn't believe the Lakers would win this game. Me personally, I didn't think they would win. I thought personally that this game would go 5 or 6 games with Minnesota winning and that they were going to snatch 2 games in L.A., potentially lose 1 in Minnesota. They'll get 1, go back to L.A., up 3-1 and win in L.A. again. So this hasn't gone as I predicted. But we'll see what happens when they get to Minnesota, man. But as far as the series is concerned, I'm still going with Minnesota. But the way the Lakers played tonight, they look really, really good. They came out firing on all cylinders. And I'm not sure because I'm already wrong about the series. I thought they was going to lose tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting series to watch, but it's a good one. I think that after game 1, JJ Redick made the comment saying that the Timberwolves were a lot more physical than they expected them to be. So Lakers all around just stepped it up on defense, which made their team look better. But I also think on the opposite end, the Timberwolves just didn't play as good. On their roster, they only had 2 players make over 10 points, which was Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards. The rest of the team needs to be able to step it up in order for them to win a game in this series. So shout out to the Lakers, shout out to JJ Redick, because I will give him credit. He is a great coach, and I don't even think people expected the Lakers to get to the point that they're at, especially after the trade. So any problem they've kind of had, they've been very solution-based, which has helped their game overall. So I still kind of have the Lakers winning the overall series, even though the Timberwolves are putting up, a great fight. But I think the proof is in the pudding. The script is kind of already in. It's just too good of a storyline for them to not kind of move on to that next level. And if they remain that physicality, keep putting up points and being more accurate, I think that this is going to give them the push in the end.
No, that's great, but to your point, you're absolutely right. You got Mike Conley not showing up 0 for 5. You got DiVincenzo, I believe, was 1 for 4. Jaden McDaniels was 1 for 3. Naz Reid was matter of fact, let me look at it exactly. Motherfucker, Naz Reid was 3 for 8. Of course, he was in foul trouble. DiVincenzo didn't show up. Mike Conley didn't hit a field goal at all. And Jaden McDaniels, who had a phenomenal first game, 3 for 11. That's not going to cut it. They role players are definitely going to have to step up.
For sure. Okay, so now the Bucks versus the Pacers. So the Bucks have now lost 2 games in the series to the Pacers after losing this one, 123-115. So Dame made his return, this being his first game since March 18th after a blood clot issue. Was this kind of what you expected to play out when you initially heard that they would be playing each other in the series? And do you think Doc Rivers is the problem?
I'm not going to say Doc is the problem. We all made fun of Doc last season when he just randomly became the coach right before All-Star break, then became the All-Star coach. I'm going to say injuries are also plaguing Milwaukee. You got to think about this. Last year, Indiana sent Milwaukee home. Who wasn't playing? Greek Freak wasn't playing. Dame was playing. We have Dame out since March of whatever last game he played in the regular season with the blood clot. And I love fucking what Damian Lillard did, man, for the fact that he even came back to play. And I know everybody's situation is different. Some people and I'm not using Wemby, for example, because they didn't make the example. They didn't make the playoffs anyway. But Dame's blood clots ain't no joke. So for him to come back and even play is a win for me, for Dame anyway. just coming back. But you could tell how bad Dame wanted it because he's talking shit with Halliburton on the sideline. He got a tech last game, and he wasn't even playing and got a tech. You could see he wanted to bust Halliburton ass, but he's not ready yet. The nigga Nick, before the fucking show started, talking about this over for Dame. Like, God damn, Nick. He just fucking had a blood clot. He ain't played for like 3 weeks. Nigga just said it's over for his whole career. Niggas is harsh, man. Niggas is really disrespectful and forget how good Dame is, man. I don't think that they'll win this series because I don't think Dame has enough time to get back in shape. You got to think about this. Indiana is really good. You have all 5 starters in double digits on Indiana last night. And for Milwaukee to make a move in this series, my personal opinion, they're going to have to start Bobby Portis. They got to start him. That's just my opinion. Kyle Kuzma has not been playing meaningful basketball in 3-4 years since he was with the Lakers and knew what playoff basketball was. I think he needs to wake up like, oh shit, I'm playing in April? I haven't played in April in like 4 or 5 years, but you got him in the starting lineup, and I know you try to get some depth off the bench, but this isn't a series where you got to get depth off the bench, especially with Dame coming back. You got to get Bobby Portis in that starting lineup and maybe just go 7 deep if need be. Pause when I'm talking about your players. Everybody downsizes in the playoffs. Doc Rivers, and the original question is Doc Rivers a problem? I don't want to say Doc is the problem, but let's think about it. Besides having Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Rondo, and winning 1 championship, what Doc really did? I don't know what Doc done. He's running, Doc is the man. Doc's well-respected, this and that. No disrespect. I like any black man with a job, and I would never want a black man to get fired from anything. But we got to stop putting Doc up there with the upper echelons of coaches because he blew mad 3-1 leads, pause, when he played for the Clippers. He actually put out a statement maybe a month or 2 ago saying, yo, niggas got to stop blaming me for 3-1, losing a 3-1 lead. They should look that I won the 3 games. I ain't get swept. You don't get credit for winning the 3 games. You get credit when you win the series. It was a time where I remember he's coaching the Clippers, and Golden State advanced and the Clippers didn't. And he made a statement like, yeah, Golden State won this year because they didn't have to play us. Well, if you would have beat the team, I believe it was the Oklahoma City Thunder. Well, if you would have beat the Thunder, you would have played Golden State. Doc be trying to say shit to throw you off from the shit that he doing wrong. Try to curve it and make it look all crazy like, nigga, if we had them Golden State, we would. But if you would have won, you would have played. Yo, if niggas get mad at me for losing 3-1 lead, I only imagine if I ain't winning 3 games. Doc, you can't spin us, bro. We see what's going on. You got 1 championship with 3 Hall of Famers, probably 4. Rondo's going to probably end up getting in the Hall of Fame with an all-star cast. When I say all-star, not really all-star, with a great cast of people coming off the bench. Then what you do? The next year, the Lakers end up getting Pau Gasol. Bust y'all ass. Kobe got another one. He had another, you're not saying Pau Gasol was Shaq, but he was good enough to beat y'all niggas. Pause. And then been downhill since then. I don't know. Doc he won a chip. I'm not going to say act like it's easy to win a chip, but we got to stop putting up there with Popovich and all these other things. If you want to be totally motherfucking honest about it, Spoelstra got more championships than the nigga. It's a couple coaches that got more championships than Doc, so why are we putting up there with the best coaches?
That's a good question. And is he overrated? I'll let the chat answer to that. I just think overall people kind of underestimate the Pacers, and I don't know if it's just because people feel like they aren't as flashy or because it's Halliburton leading the team, because it's like he has the accolades. He always delivers when it's needed. I just think people aren't really ready to accept Halliburton as like that next guy, and I don't understand exactly what it is. I couldn't even tell you what it is about him that people can't seem to just let him rock. You're saying just India is the city, but it's like India as a whole like has been going up there, even with their WNBA team. I think it's time to just kind of accept that they're taking over, but it's just something about them is lacking that it's just really not as enticing to make me feel like I should believe them. But this series enough is enough to show you that they're legit. Like, and even what they did last year.
Yeah. And it's
go ahead.
not the city. Them niggas had Reggie Miller. They had Rick Smits. They had them brothers. Them niggas, when that city, they had a good team. They made it to the championship before. They didn't win the championship, but they had some really tough playoff teams. When I'm talking about Reggie Miller and Rick Smits and them fucking brothers, I can't remember.
The Dale brothers.
Yeah, the Dale, there you go, the Dale niggas. You just run into Michael Jordan. You run into a tough New York team with Patrick Ewing and Anthony Mason and them boys. They ended up beating them one year, and then when Jordan was playing, they made it to the championship. But it ain't the city. It's kind of like, the Pacers. Right. Yeah, I don't know. That's a great analysis. B2, it's like, what about the Pacers that niggas is not believing in?
Right.
Because to be honest with you, it's a great basketball city, man.
Right.
It really is, to be totally honest with you. Fucking Larry Legend's out of fucking Indiana. Fucking Hoosiers, man.
Right.
It's a good city, but you're right, Stat. It's something that they don't have the pizzazz or...
Something is I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't know, but I don't think that people look at Halliburton as one of them people that could take them over the top to win, and that's their main player. That's my personal opinion. It's like a few years ago when Donovan Mitchell was playing with Utah, and I remember him doing an interview on TNT after the game with Kenny, Shaq, and Barkley. And, you know, you got the headphones on the court still. And Shaq was like, I don't think you're that good. You can't lead a team to a championship. He told Donovan Mitchell that to his face all over the screen. And Donovan Mitchell was like, all right, cool. He wasn't even mad at anything. But I think that's the same perception that people have about Halliburton. Like, he's good. He's an all-star, but can he lead a team to a championship? And to be honest with you, I don't think he can lead a team to a championship either, but I think that he's a really good player. So maybe that's what it is. Their main player on the team. Do you think he could get you a championship? And for me, the answer is no, even though they have a great supporting cast.
Right. I mean, he might surprise us because people, not as much at all, because I'm not comparing them, but people kind of had the same perception about Jason Tatum and his personality. They were like, do they really think that he could lead? And he did exactly that. So with that, you never really know. And I feel like that's kind of why he's playing even into like the back and forth with Damian Lillard and talking his shit. Because he's like, look, y'all been playing with me. This is my year. I am that guy. And I know I said playing in the snow, you don't know how it's going to go. Playing in the snow is going great for him. So for some people, situations work differently. And in Halliburton, this might be one of those cases. Last thing before we go to break, I'm just curious because obviously we're seeing a lot of frustration on the Bucks side. In the future, do you see Giannis ending his career in Milwaukee, or do you think he might end up going somewhere else?
I think Giannis, in my personal opinion, he doesn't seem like one of them people that want to be like, I left Milwaukee or somewhere. He may want to stay the rest of his career, but he wants to win as well. And it doesn't look like that's happening there. He's putting up tremendous numbers. Since Dame went out, even though Dame is back, Doc Rivers told me the point guard, he really embraced the role as a point forward. And 18 assists, 17 assists, 12 assists, that's incredible, to be honest. But as far as him staying there, he be making little threats here and there. Yo, niggas, I want to see everybody. He made a statement, actually, when Luka went to the Lakers, and I don't know if he was joking or not. He said, I want to see all the overseas Europe players go to big markets. The Joker go to New York, Luka in L.A. He didn't mention himself. He said somebody else somewhere else. So I don't think Giannis is above not leaving Milwaukee, but they're going to have to do a lot to prove that they can win with Giannis. And I don't think that's where he's at right now, especially when his brother don't got a roster spot. You know, a lot of that shit, you know, the brother get the roster spot. Look, what we doing? We good as a family. You know, brother don't got a roster spot right now. And then we all joked about it and played games about it, but they're very, very family orientated, very, very much so. His brother's still at all the games. His brother's still rooting for him. He's still in Milwaukee, so on and so forth. But to answer the question, I can see him leaving. I don't think that he's above not leaving Milwaukee. It isn't like a Steph situation with Steph like, no matter what, I'm going to finish my career in Golden State. I think this is totally different. Giannis is from overseas, and he says, look, I gave y'all a championship. What else y'all want me to do? I'm glad you did bring that up, Stat, because I was going to bring that up before we went to break, is that, yeah, Halliburton playing with mad snow. It ain't just a little bit of snow neither. That nigga hopping out the limo with 7 white joints, and you said it's working out for him. He know how to move, man. You gotta know how to move with them joints, man. He don't care if he's half white. He's still black. His father's black. He a nigga. He's allowed to say nigga. His father's a real black nigga. They try that shit with Patrick Mahomes too. Oh, his mother, nigga, his father black. He's a nigga. He can say, I'm not mad if they use the word nigga. Work playing in the snow is working out for him. He knows how to move with them bitches.
That is true. And I love that for him. So I'm glad that that is working out. So is Jaren Jackson Jr. a top 10 big right now? Grizzlies versus Thunder. We will discuss when we return.
She called this thing about toxic. 4 years and counting. Got you feeling like an option. Maybe I'm my own problem, babe. She tired of hearing I don't know. My stubborn in me won't fall. Dealing with this thing called trust. But she really thinking about it. She wanna be free. Why am I in this woman way free?
Okay, y'all, so we're trying something new this month. It's called It Is Now. So every Wednesday for the next 4 weeks, Cam and Mase will call Underdog to discount a player's projection. So Cam, who are we discounting this week?
I'm looking right now. I don't really like Kawhi at 25.5. I'm not digging that. Let me call you D. Let me call Underdog now. Because I think it'd be better if Kawhi would be at 20.5 instead of 25.5. Hold on, let me see what I can do. UD, what's up, baby? Yeah, I need a favor. I need a big favor. Let's move Kawhi to 20.5 tonight. Points, that is. 20.5 points instead of the 25.5. Can we do that? Bet. Say no more. Done deal. Just did y'all a favor. Kawhi Leonard, 20.5 points. Higher or lower. That's on y'all. You see the nigga had 39 the other night. You do the motherfucking math. We good, stat.
See, boom, just like that. 20.5 it is. So make sure y'all check the Underdog app. It is there thanks to Cam. So this is available now until tip-off on Thursday for new and existing customers who have signed up with any of our promo codes. So make sure you guys use code MACE, code CAM, code STAT. Any of those codes will work. So make sure y'all take advantage of the It Is Now promo on Underdog.
Hey, y'all, listen, man. Make sure y'all put my motherfucking code in. Because I've been winning y'all a lot of money this season, man. And I'm not getting the credit for it. Code CAM. Now, Stat can promote our own code and Murder too. You know, Murder wants code CHAMP. But you can't spell CHAMP without the CAM. Code CAM, nigga. Put it in. Pause.
Just like that. Just like that. Welcome back. So game 2, Grizzlies versus Thunder. Not looking the best. The Thunder beat the Grizzlies 118-99. So now there's conversation surrounding Jaren Jackson Jr. saying he is the most overhyped player. Kendrick Perkins basically asked if he is even a top 10 big in the league right now. So Cam, one, how do you feel about another loss from the Grizzlies? And then what's your thoughts on Jaren Jackson Jr.?
Jaren Jackson Jr., you know, he was Defensive Player of the Year a couple of years ago. That's the problem right there is that his potential. He had a lot of potential to be one of them dudes. And then what happens is when Ja Morant is out and the team doesn't even make it to the play-in or the playoffs, you're like, can you play without Ja Morant? If you're supposed to be one of them dudes, you could at least get him to the play-in, let alone the playoffs. But we see the difference in this team when it comes to when Ja Morant is playing, when Ja Morant isn't playing. So as far as him being a top 10 player, I'll give you my list in a minute, but more importantly, is that before we get to that is that OKC just got Memphis' number. I thought Memphis would put up a bigger fight. It's the playoffs, so on and so forth. But then when I did my homework and studied a little bit more, they beat the last 11 games. I know it wasn't about 50 points. And last night was about 20 points. But the last 10 or 11 games, if I'm not mistaken, they've beaten, talking about the OKC Thunder, beating the Memphis Grizzlies by double digits. The last 10 games are something similar to that. These niggas got their number, and we thought that Memphis may put up a bigger fight because it's the playoffs. But no, this has been going on for a little minute. This has been going on for a couple years that they have this guy's number. We got to think about this. They're beating them by 50 with Shai Gilgeous not playing two quarters, a quarter and a half. Then you're beating him. Pause. Then they beating them again with Shai shooting terribly. I think he was 10 for 29, if I'm not mistaken, but he's not playing well at all. And they're still beating Memphis without Shai playing a lot of minutes, and not just a lot of minutes, not playing good. Imagine if Shai come get a good game, what this will look like. They might lose by 79. I'm a little disappointed because I would like to see the Shai-Ja matchup like more intense, but it's just not happening. It's just not happening. And we can this series is a foregone conclusion. Now we can see one thing for sure, and even though they won their first round last year, we're all saying that OKC had the best record. We'll see what they do in the 7-game series. We'll see what happens. Well, right now they busting ass in the 7-game series. Now, is it a formidable opponent? Not if you beat them the last 10 games by double digits. Not really. They got these niggas' numbers. We'll see what happens when they go back to Memphis, but we got to keep in mind, Shai is not playing a lot of minutes the first game and played terribly the second game, and they still lost by 51 and 19 points. Now, as far as my top 10 big men, I don't know. I might got them right on the outside. When I seen this question, I put a couple people together, and this is the list that I came up with. Now, he may make the top 10 this year, only because Joel Embiid was hurt. That's the only reason. Now, if you're talking about big men, and I'm considering him a center, even though he's not playing center at the moment. Edie is, but he was before Edie got there. So I'm putting, and this is not in order. I got Joker, I got AD, I got Wemby, I got Bam, I got Sabonis, Cat. It was hard for me to put Gobert in there, but I guess he's Gobert. I'll put him in there.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't, you know.
I get it.
Yeah, I get it. He deserves to go in there. He's a 3-time defensive player of the year. Porzingis and Mobley, and only because Joel Embiid is out, I'll throw the nigga in there. That's the only reason. Joel Embiid is there. He's on the outside looking in. My personal opinion.
Okay, but so according to that list, you like Jaren Jackson for the Grizzlies. Yeah, because some people are like, oh, the Grizzlies should move on. I just want to know your thoughts on that.
I don't think he's a bad player. I don't think that he's a bad player. He can hit the corner three. He's decent. He's not a traditional big man where he's just on the box spinning, dunking on niggas. But this is the climate we in. This is the climate. It's not a lot of old-fashioned big men pause left. Should they keep him? What you don't want to do, honestly, is you don't want to, matter of fact, he's not in the top 10. I forgot about Shagun. I'm putting Shagun. I'm putting Shagun ahead of him. Matter of fact, he's still on the outside without Embiid in there. I just thought about Shagun. Pardon me. What you don't want to do is he's still young. What you don't want to do is throw him under the bus already. He go to another team and start busting ass. He still has that potential. He's not some old nigga that's like, damn, he's washed up and get rid of him. And then he goes somewhere else and does well. He was just defensive player of the year no more than 3 seasons ago. I don't think Memphis is having a good year, but let's put this into context. This is what happens, and I'm not saying over the season. This is what happens when you make changes 6 games before the playoffs start. You don't have your head coach that you had all season there. You go from 4th seed to the 8th seed to the play-in to just getting a regular play-in spot at the 8th seed. Now you're playing the team with the best record in the NBA all season long from start to finish. And now we're looking for somebody to blame. Blame niggas for getting rid of the coach. They got rid of the coach. Now Jaren Jackson is the problem. Listen, bro, you canned your coach a week and a half, 2 weeks before the playoffs start. Now y'all expect greatness against OKC, and he's to blame? I ain't gonna do that to the young man, not me.
Yeah, I actually personally love that take because I just feel like everything that could have went wrong for the Grizzlies kind of went wrong. And aside from Ja, he is their best player. So to kind of turn gears and be like, I expect this and I expect that. Like these expectations are unrealistic regarding what you guys have literally decided to do to the team in the most crucial moments. And then another thing too is like, even down to the playing game that they had versus the Warriors, like if Ja didn't get hurt, the Grizzlies had a really good chance at winning that game, which we wouldn't even be in this situation of them playing literally the best team, which we know is the Thunder. Any team would be struggling against them right now. They would be playing the Rockets. We'd probably be seeing a lot more different of a matchup. So I think to kind of throw it on Jaren Jackson Jr. and find him as the one to blame doesn't make sense. We know the odds were not in their favor to begin with. So jumping to conclusions at that point doesn't make sense to me. Now, could he play better? Yes, he could, because we've seen it before, especially back to the year when he did win Defensive Player of the Year. It's not his best, but I don't think it's time to just throw him to the curb and act like he has not been helping the team as much as he can. But we are expecting better, but they're just going to have to work on that next season. Okay, so the Pistons did get their lick back and defeated the Knicks 100-94 at the Garden. This is the Pistons' first playoff game win since 2008. Do you think that this just might be a small hiccup for the Knicks, or are you liking what you see from Detroit? Like, this is legit.
It's legit. Detroit should be up 2-0, to be honest with you. I understand now. Look, we're dealing with a young team, like you said, hasn't been to the playoffs in a long time. But they were up 8 points going to the fourth quarter, the first game. Got on a 21-0 run the Knicks did. Ended up beating them because they were young and they were inexperienced. They were up 8 points in the second game going into the fourth quarter. The Knicks actually made a run, and it looked like this may happen again, but they kept their composure, and they ended up pulling it out. So now home court advantage actually goes to the Detroit Pistons because all you need to win is one game on the road. And they played in a hostile environment, but it looked like they embraced it. You had Cade Cunningham, pop, 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 pop. Dunk on a nigga that pointed Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony right there, you're like, yeah, you like that. The Melo, you embrace that. If you're a basketball player, and you want to be a superstar, all-star, anything better than average, New York City is where you perform at. Every star is going to be there. We seen Carmelo Anthony there. We seen 50 Cent there. We seen Fat Joe there. We're not them our nigga stars, urban stars. We're not talking about the Tracy Morgans, the Chris Rocks, the Ben Stillers, the Adam Sandlers. It's a bunch of white select. This is the place. And when you embrace that moment and you start pointing at niggas, that means you're ready to be one of them niggas. The argument is this for me now, is Cade Cunningham the best player on the floor? Because a lot of people are saying, oh, Jalen Brunson had 37. And, of course, Jalen Brunson was second team All-NBA last year, if I'm not mistaken, second or third team. I believe it was second. And we seen him emerge to be a superstar. But it's looking like he may not be the best player in this series because we're looking at him have 37 points, but you're not getting Cat involved. Cat had 0 points in the fourth quarter. I think he shot 3 times in the fourth quarter. So it's becoming the Jalen Brunson show and not the New York Knicks show, to where Cade Cunningham is still getting players involved. We're looking at him the first game where they're throwing double teams at him. He wasn't shooting good, but he's still getting 12 assists. He's still facilitating. He's still getting people involved. This is becoming the Jalen Brunson do-it-all, yourself team in the fourth quarter where you have another all-star on your team and he's not shooting, which is just plain ridiculous. Thibodeau has to make adjustments, which he's not doing. I'll say it for Sin, and I'm not agreeing with this, but Nick, who's a Knicks fan as well, just said that he likes what Sin said. And what Sin said is that he wants Tom Thibodeau fired and to bring in Mike Malone. I don't know if he means next season or game 3. Who knows with this nigga? He may want this nigga fired down and bring the nigga in game 3. Knicks fans, you can let us know in the comments. Do you want Thibodeau going and Mike Malone there? Sin brought this to my attention. Nick, our producer, agrees with it. I don't really give a fuck either way. You know, it could be Thibodeau, Mike Malone. You could go dig Red all back out the grave. Phil Jackson, get him from Wyoming. Back, he was already there. Get who you want. It's the Knicks franchise, man. It's just not gonna work out, man. I'm sorry, man. I just can't. I just don't see it. Now back to the actual situation with the Knicks. They run their players in the ground. They playing mad minutes. You sit there and you got Cameron Payne, who is potentially, not potentially, it's the wrong word to use, one of the heroes for game 1, coming off the bench. I think 11 points in the fourth quarter. Helped the Knicks go on that 21-0 run. And then game 2, he played 4 minutes. What are we doing? Maybe Thibodeau do need to give. I don't fucking know. But you got a nigga who really helped you, and the next game he plays 4 minutes. That's kind of wild. But right now, I believe the ball is in Detroit's court to win this series. And we'll see the next game when they get back to Detroit.
Yeah, I actually love this for the Pistons because, again, it's one of those situations which we talked about in football season that's like people didn't expect them to get this far to begin with. Like, they didn't really have an expectation. So to kind of get here and kind of see Cade Cunningham shine, because he's in a similar boat where I felt like people weren't really ready to recognize him as a star as well, in the same situation kind of as Halliburton. And he's been proving everybody wrong game after game. And then on the Knicks side, it's just something's not enough, specifically from Cat also not getting any points in the second half. Like, every player on that team, especially at the Garden, needs to be able to step it up when the moments count. And if we're not seeing that, y'all are just going to lose the series, and Detroit's just going to keep celebrating, and they deserve that because, again, they weren't supposed to be in this position to begin with. So hopefully the Knicks can pull something together, but I think that people are starting to lose trust when they see things happen like this. And that's just the reality.
Yeah, but you know, yeah, so you lose trust. I don't know why they trust the Knicks from the beginning. Listen, just that's the whole shit, my nigga. Every year these niggas trust niggas, and it don't happen. We got to give a lot of credit to the coaching staff, too. Look, we made fun of Dennis Schroeder during trade season, getting shipped around everywhere, but he ended up in a great place. He's coming off the bench last game. You're giving 20 points. You got Beasley coming off the bench. We make fun of Tobias Harris when he was in Philly. Not really making fun of him, calling it like we see it. He wasn't busting no moves. He wasn't looking as strong as he could for a 6'8" person. He's doing very well on the Pistons. Sometimes people need a change of environment, and I think the way that they're rotating their players, even when you got Tim Hardaway Jr. playing exceptionally well. This is a well-balanced Detroit team, and I don't think the Knicks actually have the balance or the bench that Detroit has. We'll see when the next game happens, but they're well coached. They got a good balance of young players and old players, and it's shown all season.
Either way, it's playoff basketball time. Anything can happen, and we will see what happens in the next game. But with that being said, that is all the time that we have for today. Thank y'all for watching, and as always, it is what it is.
What you want, nigga? Everything, nigga, super size. 2 Big Macs, like when they doing them 2 for $5.